Welcome, everybody. My name is Bella Vasta, and I am here with Christina.
Hi.
Today, you are actually going to get a behind-the-scenes look at what it's like to record Bella in Your Business podcast. We are live right now, so we're gonna say hi, Christina. Let's test one more time.
Hello, testing, testing.
Perfect. So we are all good to go, which is fantastic. For those of you
Awesome.
who might have known, we were going to do this earlier, but we had a little bit of technical difficulties. But that's what happens when you do live. Sometimes that happens, and you just got to keep rolling with it. So anyone that's ever thought about doing live and they said, but I don't want anything bad to happen, well, it's going to happen. And it's just kind of
Yes,
like life. However you handle it is what really matters. So,
yes,
Christina,
learning experiences.
yeah, for sure. All right, so I'm gonna just let a silence happen for about 5 seconds, and then I'll bring us into the show.
Okay.
Welcome to Bella in Your Business. My name is Bella Vasta, your host with Jump Consulting. Today, I have a pet sitter here with me, actually a dog walker, who is just totally blown me away, and that I have begged her and pleaded for her to come on our show. You are going to learn a lot about Christina today. Her love and passion for animals brought her to become a professional and certified pet care expert. Her professional training started back in 2005, you guys, and she continues to re-educate herself as the time goes by. She holds herself to a high standard of professional and personal ethics standards. And Christina actually found beach pups to guarantee your dog receives the safest and most untypical walk around the block service available. Without further ado, Christina, welcome to the show.
Hi, everybody. I'm so happy to be here. This is a really exciting day.
Yeah, for sure. Christina, I know that you and I kind of officially kind of met at the beginning of this year, although you were kind of following me before that, unbeknownst to me. But
Oh,
you
yeah.
kind of joined our posse, our cool tribe of awesome people. And it was back in January when we started the Jump Mastermind. I want to know, and I want you to take our audience back to where were you personally and professionally? Maybe the end of last year, the end of 2017.
Yeah, so I was really lost, honestly. I really didn't have any guidance or anything to where I was supposed to be. So you had mentioned I was a professional pet care expert, but I necessarily wasn't a professional business owner. You can be a professional pet care expert all you want to, but being a business owner is a completely different aspect. So in a lot of ways, I was becoming lost because the business was growing and I was a new mom and I just didn't have a lot of guidance as to what to do.
Yeah.
So I accidentally found you and it has changed everything.
You said you're a new mom. Tell us about your chid,
My little chick,
child and kid.
she's,
How
uh, she,
old?
she's actually 17 months today
Wow.
and she is rambunctious and she's energetic and she loves dogs and cats just like her mommy. She's very, very special. So happy to have her.
Hats off to all the mompreneurs out there watching or listening right now. It's a topic that we don't talk too much about that I think we need to talk a lot more about. And I want to be blowing the lid off as we approach our 100th episode of Bella in Your Business here. I want to really speak to and support those moms, whether they're the new moms or the growing moms. So I think that's a really important part of your story because pet sitting and also having a child, and I know that your husband travels a lot, so it's
Yeah.
you're home a lot, right? So a lot of stuff falls
Yeah.
on you.
Oh yeah. Well, I live out of state away from my family and all of like my really close friends and he's gone a lot. So, it's me and her and the neighborhood. So,
And the business and the pets
yes.
and the oh my gosh. You're
Yes,
like
it's a lot.
superwoman before we even begin. So you said you had just mentioned that you were a professional pet care person and expert and that's like that was the easy part, but that you were feeling a little lost in your business. Can you explain a little bit more about what you mean by being a quote unquote professional business person?
Yes. There was things that you need to do in business that I didn't even really know about, like the difference between ICs and employees. I had sat with a lawyer who helped me draw out my contracts and everything for ICs, but they didn't say, hey, you have to treat them completely different. So I didn't really go, after that meeting, I didn't have a lot of research after that. So
Yeah.
little things like that, and how to follow up with clients and do answer your phone. There's a million things that I have just learned, starting from just one simple YouTube video even, that has changed the game.
Yeah. Fantastic. So all this stuff is going on, and then all of a sudden, poof, the Jump Mastermind pops up. What in your head decided, you know what, this is for me, I'm gonna try it? What drew you to it?
So, I like exclusive things, and I like feeling like I'm a part of something special.
Uh-huh.
Hence my business. We're a membership run company, and the mastermind felt more like an in-close membership. You get
Yeah.
Bella more exclusively, which is something that I really wanted. And not only that, but it's dedicated people that are joining the mastermind. They are in it to grow and they want to win. And when
Yeah.
you surround yourself with people like that and you put yourself in it, I don't see how it's possible that you could fail. And if you fail, it's in a good way. It's just going to get you to somewhere else that you need to be. So once I had found out about the mastermind group and learned all of those little things about how special it was going to actually be, I was like, I have to get in. Like, I don't care if I have to get another job to be in mastermind. I'm doing it.
And I'm so glad you did. Something that really struck me about you was that for the first 3 or 4 months, you were like quiet as a mouse. I was like, Are you okay? Are you okay?" You weren't really that vocal. And then, bam! All of a sudden, one day, we learned so much about you. It gave me chills and made me tear up because your heart was just oozing. And I want to get to that, Christina. I want you to tell people what that was about, but you just hit on something that's really unique that a lot of people have toyed with the idea but never actually done it. You said that you have a membership with your company. Can you
Mm-hmm.
explain to our listeners a little bit more about what that is?
Yeah, so the membership is really exclusive and it goes to clients who are gone majority of the day, Monday through Friday, who get those midday walks. And we have made it so that they get a luxury style feel to it as far as customer service and the service in itself. So it's very professional and it's not just a lax pet sitting company or anything. Like, we take it seriously. Like, when I walk in, my clients know that, like, my business is my future. Like, this is on the line. Like, I'm going to do 100% for you, because if I don't have anything else to fall on. My clients know that we're 100% serious about it. And the luxury feel, they really do feel special. They can call me at any point within limitations. I have learned about that in Mastermind. Um, and I have amped up a smart technology system with the membership. So on the pricing sheet, you'll see that you have the prices, and then underneath it is these check and X boxes, and you can see everything that they get with their membership, like free nail trims and ear cleanings with their renewals. Or I have one of my branches has a doggy spa. They get 10% off the doggy spa. So we throw in perks like that. So it's not just a walk. We don't do pet sitting anymore for people unless you're a member already. So they get discounted pet sitting with their membership. So
Yeah.
it's just more than a walk, basically, for us.
That's incredible. For any newbies that might be listening to this podcast, there is a difference between pet sitting and dog walking, which Christina just touched upon. Dog walking is typically Monday through Friday in the middle of the day, maybe 10 to 2, 10 to 3. And
Mm-hmm.
pet sitting is when the pet parents are actually on vacation. So that's often 2, 3, sometimes 4 times a day, and or overnights. So they're kind of two different operations and two different types of beasts. So, Christina, going back to January, once you did enter that mastermind, how did you feel? Because I'm sure at first you were like, but I know that
I
eventually,
I was
like,
overwhelmed at first, honestly, because there was so much that I needed to progress on. And it felt
yeah,
negative at first because it was like, holy crap, look at all the stuff you haven't done. Or look at everything that you don't know. But then I
Yeah.
had to think about it in a positive light, like I'm here. Like, thank goodness that I'm here and I found this and I'm taking advantage of it, because
Mhm.
if I hadn't, I don't know how much longer I'd be in business, honestly.
Yeah.
I might
Yeah.
end up going back to working for other business owners, which I don't want to do that.
Yeah, you were at that breaking point. I remember that because we did have some conversations together. And I want to jump forward to that video that I talked about where all of a sudden you just poured your heart and soul out. And I was so shocked and awed because and I wanted you to tell this story because I think so many people think about joining something new or becoming a part of a new crowd and they're overwhelmed or they're intimidated or like you said at first, like they have negative thoughts about themselves. It's a mindset shift.
Mm-hmm.
This isn't extra to do. This is the support that I need. These are John Lee Dumas says this saying, and a lot of other people say it, it's you're the sum of the five people you hang out with, right?
Mm-hmm.
And
Yes.
so and so it's so, and I know you like them too. You're
Yeah.
into personal development
Oh,
like I am. We read and listen to the same things.
yes.
And so all of a sudden, you guys, Christina just came out of the woodwork one day on video and she showed us her old business cards and her new business cards. And then she showed us her old model and her new model. And then she's all just throwing it down like the East Coast girl that I know she is, even though she's in Florida, it's still East Coast. And just a girl after my own heart because she was quiet in the background, which was okay. She wasn't participating in the challenges. She didn't have an accountability partner, but man, was her head down and she was working. And she came out 3 months later with such a vengeance, and that vengeance lit a fire around everyone that watched her video. And that's what happens in this group. So, can you describe to our listeners a little bit more about it? You were literally the epitome, Christina, of that saying where a bow and arrow has to get pulled back before it can
Yes.
fly forward. Tell me
Yes.
about your pullback moments.
Oh my goodness. So I completely redid everything in Beach Pups minus the name. I didn't change our name. That was it. Everything else, I mean, I got rid of clients because I decided, that I needed to find a special niche. If you would ask me 6, 7 months ago, who is Beach Pups? What do you do? I'd have been all over the place, not really able to explain exactly what differentiates us from everybody else.
Yeah.
So I really needed to find that. So I pulled back on everything. I was like, I need a new logo. I need another website. And I had changed these things before. I mean, I was on like my fifth website at that point, and I was no, and then you kept pressing delegate, 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 and I'm like, dang it, like I know I need to do that. I'm not a web designer. I'm not all of these things. And
Yeah.
sitting back and accepting that you cannot be 100% of everything in your business. I mean, if you can be, like, good for you, like that's awesome, but I could not, so I had to delegate. So new website, new logo, I got rid of clients, I got rid of staff because I'm switching from ICs to employees.
Yeah.
Very difficult, but Bella has all of the tools to help you do that. Trying to figure that out on your own is
A
close to impossible.
nightmare.
Yeah. And I'm going through
And
it
your
right now.
state
It's
and your
taking me
state is a
forever.
fun state where Florida doesn't even have a Department of Labor. They just go
Yes.
straight to the federal Department of Labor.
Mm-hmm.
And
And
there's
do
a
you
couple other
think
states that are like that too. And
that
it's
lawyer didn't tell me that? They didn't tell me that at all. I found that out from Bella. Like, how ridiculous is that? That somebody who I hired years ago when I started the business and did these contracts with wouldn't even tell me
yeah.
basic things like that. So you don't even know what you don't know until you get with people who are doing what you're doing and they're serious.
Yeah.
So to finish on like everything that I've changed, I decided, that we were going to go all in for the membership base. I was going to leave a non-member option for base purposes, but it's, I hiked up the pricing because I'm weeding out certain clientele. Which I learned that from you. And I was terrified. I'm actually just increasing the prices on my current clients. I have like my first 2 members still from when I started. Number 1 member, number 2 member, they're still with me 5 days a week.
Yeah.
And I'm upping their prices for the first time. It'll be about $4 a walk coming up. I'm not worried anymore.
Yeah.
I was. And then I
Where did
didn't
you
want.
get that confidence? How did you go from being scared and all of this negative self tapes to, you know what, I have the confidence now? Like, was there something that made
Because
that
yes,
switch? Was it
because
like,
I tested everything before. I tested out new pricing and stuff with new clients before my existing clients, because your existing clients are your base. You don't necessarily want to lose them. You could always get new clients, but I like to keep the clients that we have and then grow on them. So I wanted to test out new pricing on new clients first. And as soon, yes, okay, yes, him. So as soon as
for those of
I,
you listening, I held up the
yes,
book Never Lose a Customer Again by Joey Coleman. We all highly recommend it. About 18 of us in the mastermind just read it, did a book club, had Joey in there to actually pour into how to use it in a pet sitting business. So
yes, I
it was
have
just
been,
so poignant.
everything that he says, I'm 100% with. I've implemented a lot of things that he has said. And as soon as my first client paid me my highest package, which is pretty expensive, they're at $26.95 a walk, I believe. And that's my highest package I sold, and they bought that in bulk. That's $539 package. That's the highest package I've ever sold that was just single walks, not double walks. So as soon
Mhm.
as I had that, I was like, well, if people are willing to pay this, there's got to be others. There's no way they're the only people willing to pay that around here. So
Yeah.
as soon as that happened, and then I got another client and another client, and still have not raised my pricing to the old people yet, the old clients, I got 3 new puppies this week, 5 days a week, who signed up, new package pricing, and
Love
so
puppies.
that just tells me that that's got to be a good sign. I mean, puppies, that's like fertility in your business, right? So that's all I'm thinking. Like 3 puppies drop in a week, and they all sign up for new packages, and it's ready to go. So, but I didn't want to just up prices on just the walks. I didn't want to change their services. My prices were increasing significantly. I mean, some of the packages the clients' walks would go up $7 a walk because their pricing was so low, which just wasn't right.
Right.
And so I wanted to change the game. I wanted to up the stance on the standard of dog walkers. So if someone comes to me and they see my pricing and they go to another dog walker, and we're only a couple dollars difference, but my
Mhm.
standards are smart technology system, lost dog prevention system, pet care experts, employees, all of these things, I'm setting the bar for where everybody else needs to be now. So I'm kind of changing that and making myself completely different than, and one reason I really had to do that, I'm just going to say this. There's another owner who lives in my one branch. Her name is also Christina. She's also blonde. She does pet sitting, dog walking. She's got independent contractors, and it was hard for people to distinguish us on Facebook because
Mhm.
they're meant to tag her, and they tag me. People are calling, and they're like, "Hey, I really like your services, but you don't answer your phone." I was like, "No, you didn't call this Christina." I'm like, "I think you got the wrong Christina." So I really took that example of her business as to how I could shape myself to be different. Like, we're completely different now. There's no way that you could even compare us other than the words dog walk. I mean, that's
Yeah.
pretty much it.
It's such a beautiful example of what happens when you really get strong in your brand and your business and you become unique, because no one can really copy you, or if they do, it's blaringly
Mm-hmm.
obvious.
Right.
And
Yeah.
I think in our industry, it's really easy for everyone just to be a dog walker or a pet sitter and not
Mm-hmm.
differentiate themselves. So kudos to you, girl. I love your story, and I know that it's going to be so inspiring to so many people listening. If it is, I want you to find where you heard this and go ahead and comment and let Christina know that she's totally blessing you right now. Christina, what have you been able to accomplish since January being here in the mastermind?
Well, first and foremost, I mean, I've accomplished getting a brand now that stands out. I've accomplished being able to explain what my business is. I've been able to differentiate myself. I've gotten confidence in our services and pricing,
Mm-hmm.
higher pricing.
Mm-hmm.
And oh my gosh, there's just so much that I have gotten from it. And I'm still not done. Like I have a list this big still of stuff. As a matter of fact, my computer is sitting on my Freedom Journal that I haven't even started yet because I was learning from you about your list and your goals are completely different. And
Yeah,
I don't feel like I'm even still in a position to be completely goal oriented right now because I still have all these lists of things that I'm tying
yeah,
together for the business. And this
yeah.
journal sits on my desk right next to my keyboard and I'm waiting to get to my goals. Like that's my next step here is to get these lists of all these things I got to tie in together and then move right on to the goals. So there's
What
still a
I
lot of work to do.
what I love about what you said right there, and I want everyone to really hear this, you're truly giving yourself permission to go on this journey and not be so rigid and 100% perfect. And you are marching along on your own journey at your own time, making progress. And every week you're better than the week before. And the exact reason why I wanted to have you on this podcast, as we are actually recording this live on Facebook right now, for those of you listening to the podcast. Robin says, way to go. Thank you for sharing. And Denise says, as a mom starting a pet business, you're my new idol. That makes
Aww,
me so
that's
excited
so
for you.
awesome.
And that's why I wanted you to come on and share your message and your story because it's so powerful, Christina. You have no idea how bright your light can shine. Um, so let's tie it all in. So reflecting on where you were personally and professionally just even 6 months ago to now where you're at, where do you see yourself in another 6 months? Where do you see your future and your goals?
So the next months I see myself delegating a lot more.
Mm-hmm.
So I have already delegated a lot as far as outsourcing things like website and stuff, but I've hired my first technical employee. It didn't work out so well, but I am looking to hire more.
Uh-huh.
I'm working on getting your handbook and your manual because I don't even want to hire any more employees until I have that, which I'm working on getting.
Yeah.
And so delegating, I want to be in 6 months by Christmas. I would like to be off my walk route. I would
Mm-hmm.
like to be in the office. I'd like to be meeting with clients. I'd like to be out networking and doing things working inside of the business rather necessarily for it
Right, right.
is what my goals are for the next 6 months. And I think as long as I continue with Mastermind and follow your steps and everything that you've been teaching me, there's no doubt in my mind that I could do that.
Yeah, well, I gotta hand it to you because, I'm just out here squawking and you're the one doing the heavy lifting and you're the one that's saying, I'm not gonna let fear hold me back. And you're the one that's pouring into the rest of the group and the rest of the group is pouring into you. This is really a whole entire tribe effort. And our group would not be as amazing if you weren't in it. So not only by you joining, did you get so much, but I don't think you understand the enormity of what you've been able to give other people. And hopefully you can see that just by some of the comments of people listening to your story here today. Um, Christina, I'm going to tell you right now, our topic for next month is going to be delegation. um,
Yay!
so every month, you guys, we have a new topic that we focus on. It's not that you can't talk about anything else because we always do, but our experts that come in and our challenges that we do are always focused around a topic. So in January, it was goals. In February, it was numbers. In March, it was video. In April, it was sales. This month was the customer experience, not customer service, the customer experience, which is very different in the journey. So every month we just kind of make it real fresh. And I think as I'm talking to you, you've actually really made me think about maybe June or July now. We should do a mom and dadpreneur and about juggling the work-life balance as parents
Yeah.
and in it. But
Yeah.
that's totally another topic for another day. But you're
Yeah.
inspiring me right now.
That's
Christina, leave us with some words of wisdom. If you had any kind of advice for anyone that's it doesn't matter if they're just starting or they've been in the business for a while, they're feeling burnt out, they're feeling alone, they have this self-doubt, this tapes, they just feel like they're hitting a wall, nothing's changing in their life and their business. what would be your words of wisdom to them?
I would say that you honestly, if you want it that bad, you have to push. There's nothing that's ever worth it that's not hard. I mean, if it was easy, it wouldn't be much.
Yeah.
Being an entrepreneur is really, really hard. And I used to, work with some big bosses, and I think, God, like, you're a really crappy boss. Like, I just don't understand this. And I'm like way better in this field than you are. But honestly, like, yeah, might have been like a better pet care expert or sales or something, but I had no idea what they were doing behind the scenes. So, what you're doing is really hard. Don't ever think that it's easy for other people, because with my experience in the mastermind is that we are all struggling every day. I don't ever see anybody in mastermind who's like, yeah, I'm just like floating through roses. Like, not at all. And there's people where you look at them and you're like, God, they got it all and everything's going so great. And then you actually talk to them. Yeah, no, it's not that wonderful. There's always someone who is going through what you're going through or going through something worse. And being a part of a group like Mastermind, where you can get with people and talk to them and they're going through what you're going through, it makes everything just so much better. So try to get with people who are doing what you want to do. Don't go down. Keep going forward. Don't go backwards. Go forwards, and make sure that you always have your ducks in a row. Do it the right way. It's harder to you get that bill and you just let the bill sit, and it's going to accumulate and get worse over time. Deal with the stuff right there when it's happening. Otherwise, you're going to end up tumbleweeds going through stuff. So, just keep going and reach out to people when you're feeling it, because I guarantee you getting that support is going to help you get through.
That's beautiful advice. I love the imagery of the tumbleweeds and the bills. That was so beautifully spoken. Christina, thank you so much for joining us today. If any of our listeners want to go check out You're an Incredible Business, or maybe they heard about you and they want to apply, where are you located and what is your website?
So I am right south of Tampa, Florida, and we are also in St. Petersburg, Florida. My website is www.beachpups.com, and that's pups with PUPPS. And I would love to hear from you at any time.
Awesome. You guys, this has been another episode of Bella in Your Business, the 99th episode. The next episode coming up, I'll be solo. I've got some nuggets for you that I don't want you to miss. So hopefully you will listen to the next episode as well. If you found this podcast interesting, I really encourage you to share it with your friends, speak some life into some of us lonely entrepreneurs out there, and let Christina inspire them. Thank you so much for joining us. Remember to like and subscribe to us on Stitcher and iTunes. And remember, when life gets you down, always keep jumping. And we're done. So we're still live on Facebook. The podcast producer will cut it there. I want to turn to everyone and say, hi, Charlie. Thank you for saying hello. And Brooke and Lauren and James. James, I would have shown your thing, but it just would have taken up half the screen. That's why I didn't show it. But Christina, I wanted to say thank you for working through the tech issues today. And I know that you've got your baby in the background and you got to get back to momming. So I really appreciate your time and thank you. Your story is it's inspiring, and I really appreciate you coming on.
Awesome. I'm really happy. I want to say I'm really excited. This is the 99th episode because I turn 29 tomorrow. So it's kind of special that we're 9 and 9. Like, I like that. It's so
happy birthday. That's so exciting. Yeah, this is actually going to come out a week from tomorrow. So
that's awesome.
So we'll let you know. Yeah, but happy
99th episode birthday.
29. And happy birthday. That's amazing.
Thank you. Yeah. All right, Bella. Thank you guys so much.
Bye, everyone in Facebook land.